This video from Sam4S, we're taking a look at how to use the NR-520RB register. So the machine is part of the NR-500 series range. The 520 element means that it's got two printers, so you've got a receipt and an audit roll, and the R piece of the name means it's raised keyboard, so it's kind of like for retail. So let's get into it. There's an on-off switch on the right hand side, so you just turn the machine on at the side, and then you need to turn the key round to the REG or reg position. So when you've been supplied with the till, you'll have a big bunch of keys. The theory behind those is to control who has access to the different modes. For the purposes of this video, I'm just using the master key, which is marked C, but I'd recommend that you keep the C key away somewhere safe, because that'll go to all positions, including the service position. You've then got P and Z keys, which will go to the programming and the Z position as well. But in this video I'll be focusing on normal operations, basically how to use the till, and then I'll take a quick look at how to do the end of day reports as well. So when you first turn the machine on, you'll get the message register mode closed. That just means you're in the register mode but no one's yet signed on. So to log into the till for the first time, you press the number 1 button here, and then this Clerk hash button here, and that logs you in as Clerk 1. So operator 1 or Clerk 1 is now on the machine. To log out, it's 0 and Clerk, and then to log in again, it's 1 and Clerk. So yeah, on the machine you've got 3 areas of buttons. So over here on the left hand side you've got function buttons. I'll take a look at some of those later on. You've then got your number keypad, which is obviously where you type in the money, and then you've got these what are called PLU buttons over here, and then a further bank of function keys. So the PLU buttons, that's product lookup on Sam4S tills. Depending on how you program the machine or how you've had it programmed, these can be individual products or you can use them as categories of sale. It's kind of up to you. If they're preset, then to do a transaction you literally just press them and it comes up with the description and price on the display. As standard, they're unprogrammed, so if you haven't had them programmed and you just press them, they'll just say PLU or PLU and then the number, so PLU 12. So if you're looking to program your machine, I've got a series of videos showing you how to set these up. But you can take a look at those separately. So to do a sales transaction, it's literally you just type in the price. If the button doesn't have a preset value in it, if it does have a preset value, you then simply press the button. So if you notice that when I tried to type in the price there, I got an error message, and that's because that button already has a value assigned to it. So if you ever get any error message on the till, you just press this clear button here and then enter the transaction correctly. So we've got a few items on that sale, so we can now press subtotal. So that gives us subtotal here on the operator display. On the back of the machine you've got a pop-up customer rear display. I'll just pull the till forward a touch so you can see the customer can see what you can see. So you've got a subtotal of 21.90. On the Sam4S tills you've got 3 tender buttons, unless you've had them programmed. So when we program a till, we normally turn the charge one into a card button. So if the customer's paying by card, you would process the transaction on the card machine and then press charge, and then that prints out on the till receipt and then it displays on the screen. So we can take a look there. You can obviously, this hasn't been programmed, but you can have this customized to your shop details. You've got the date and time, and then each line of the transaction. If you don't want the receipt printed out of every sale, you've got receipt on off here. If you press that once, it toggles between receipt off and receipt on. So we'll leave ours off for now. We'll pop another sale through and we'll use the cash tend. So can I remember which buttons are preset? So the receipt's off now. Again, we've got 13.88 for that sale. So if it's a cash transaction, I'd always recommend entering the amount of money tendered first. So if they hand over £15, 1500, and then the cash button here. The cash drawer fires, allowing you to dispense the change and put the money in. So the change is, the reason why I said enter the amount of money is you've got the amount of money tendered and then the change displayed on both the operator and the customer display. We didn't have a receipt printout because we've got the receipt switched off. So on the Sam4S tills, you just press cash tend after the sale, and then you can get a printout. I think you can get as many as you want as well, so you can use it as a duplicate receipt, but it only works for the most recent transaction. So that's how to pop through a couple of sales. If we now take a look at some of the other function keys, you've got a cancel sale button, so you can use that if you make a mistake during a transaction or a customer decides to cancel it. You can simply hit cancel and that just deletes that transaction. You've got merchandise return for accepting refunds, so that works where you press return and then you enter the item. So let's say it's this button here, and then you press the method of payment. So if the refund is cash, you would press cash, or it's going back onto their card, you would press the card or charge button. So that's easily done. You've got a multiply button, so you can do 10 multiply a PLU. That's nice and easy. Some of the other functions you probably won't use on this machine. Basically, one of the things with the Sam4S tills is all the function buttons are customizable, so you can have different functions on there. So you have got a discount button, but a lot of the other functions you probably won't use, or won't cover those unless someone specifically messages me about them. Let's take a look at the error correct. So if we now go to, where are we? There we go, we'll cash that sale off. Over here we've got no sale function, so you press that once and it just opens the till, but you can also use it to add a reference number to a receipt. I mentioned error correct. Now on this till, because it's got two printers, it basically uses the same keyboard as the one printer version, and the error correct button on the one printer version on this till, because it's got two, it's actually used as the detail feed. So receipt feed feeds on the receipt paper a little bit, detail feed feeds on the audit roll, but because of that, as standard, you don't have an error correct button. So if you've had your till programmed by someone, they may or may not have put an error correct button on there for you. If they haven't, or if you're programming the till yourself, I've got a separate video showing you how to make one of these function buttons that you might not be using be error correct, because error correct is actually quite a neat function. Okay, so what would be another standard thing other than putting sales through and using these function keys? Probably the next most common thing you'll do is to run your end of day report. So if we turn the key round to X and then on to Z, so you have manager mode or X mode where you can run X reports. So X reports are read only, so they give you the information but they don't reset the data. So you're looking at an X report basically during the day to see how much you've taken so far, but it's crucial that when you get to the end of day you actually run a Z report, because when you run a Z report it'll reset all the data as well as giving you the figures, and then it's ready for next day's trading. If you run an X report, it'll give you the data, but it will just then spool that figures into the following day, so then your reports will get messed up. So Z mode at the end of day, Z reports, and then you press cash 10 to go into financial again, and then daily Z1. The cash drawer fires, you get a printout. The exact data that you get up here will obviously depend exactly how your till's set up, but this is a financial report, so it doesn't go into the detail of all the different PLUs, but it's basically telling you totals. So you've got a PLU total, tax sales totals, so it's for cashing up, so it gives you a split of how much money you've taken by cash and how much money you've taken by card. If you're then looking to have a report on your PLUs, you can do that. You just press clear a couple of times till you come back to the main Z report screen, and then arrow down to line 3 PLU, cash, daily Z1, and if you run these two reports every day, then you'll get exactly the same figures. So they'll both be daily, so you've got a daily financial and then your daily PLU, and that's basically telling you how many times you've used that button. So that's PLU1, mine's NHS prescription, so you've sold that 77 times for a total of that amount of money, and the same. So it's really useful information and it's easily accessed, but I would recommend running those two reports at the end of every trading day, and then you press clear, 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 back to the REG position. So if there's something I haven't covered in that video, please check out some of the video links appearing on screen now. You can also send me a message through YouTube or subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.